He's a predator.
On the left foot. Oh, superb!
9 out of 10 times he will score your goals, and that's why they call him the King Cole.
I come here for Cole! Andy Cole equalises for Manchester United.
Andy Cole is the sort of footballer who defies easy categorization, a forward whose talent is matched only by the complexity of his career trajectory. For those who only know the highlights, his record-breaking goal-scoring stats, his iconic partnership with Dwight York, and his glittering trophy cabinet, it's tempting to imagine his story as one of smooth ascension. Yet, as is often the case in football, the reality is far messier.
What was the place like when you turned up? Was it everything you expected?
Yeah, I think a bit more, because I never knew that it was such a big club. It was like when you first go, it's kind of like a hotel kind of thing, and the fans make the club a big club and like the players' stuff and all that.
Cole's career is not just about the goals he scored, but the clashes, the misunderstandings, and the sheer relentlessness of a man determined to succeed, even when the odds were stacked against him. To truly understand Andy Cole, we have to start in the early 1990s, where his prodigious talent was evident to anyone paying attention. Signed by Bristol City after a brief stint at Arsenal, Cole quickly caught the eye with his instinctive finishing and electric pace. But it wasn't until Newcastle United swooped in 1993 for what was then a club record fee of £1.75 million that the young striker truly announced himself. And announce himself he did.
Nottingham-born Cole had started his career in Arsenal's impressive youth development programme, but 4 appearances as a substitute showed he couldn't force his way into George Graham's immediate plans. He might not have seemed to have been rated at Highbury, but a £500,000 fee for an unknown was evidence enough of the young player's potential.
Within months, Cole had transformed Newcastle's attack, his goals firing them to promotion and their place in the Premier League.
Andrew Cole might have been the most open secret target of Kevin Keegan's brief but spectacular managerial career. But all the transfer talk in the world could not have prepared Tyneside for the explosive impact of Newcastle United's record signing.
For the Geordie faithful, Cole quickly became the ultimate talisman. The 93-94 season saw him score a staggering 34 league goals, the highest ever in a 42-game Premier League campaign, and his exploits were rewarded with the Golden Boot and the PFA Young Player of the Year award.
12 goals in his first 11 games is an entrance that even Supermac Malcolm MacDonald would have to admire. The Bristol City striker had been widely acknowledged as the man most likely to move for most of the season, while Keegan had made no effort to disguise his keenness to land another goalscorer.
Newcastle manager Kevin Keegan hailed him as the future of the club, and the fans adored him in a way that bordered on worship. But therein lay the problem. "I'm not a big fan of people idolising me," Cole later admitted in one of his more revealing moments. "I think that's mad. When I went to the supermarket, I couldn't shop. People were chasing me for autographs, and I was like, what is this?" For a young man not yet accustomed to the limelight, the sheer intensity of life in Newcastle, where footballers are treated as local deities, was overwhelming. "I enjoyed Newcastle," and he said, "but the only problem for me, personally, it came too early for me." On the pitch, though, there were no signs of unease. Cole's goal-scoring numbers were extraordinary, and Newcastle seemed to be on the brink of something special. Yet, in the background, tensions began to simmer. The striker's relationship with Keegan, once so harmonious, began to fray.
For me personally, I remember saying to everyone about this. I remember making my debut, and I've always grown up watching England. Whoever's making their debut, whoever it is, respective players, will always make a massive beeline for that individual to make them feel very, very comfortable, because it's your first time you're going to play for England or whatever respective country it is.
By Cole's own account, it wasn't one singular event, but a series of small incidents that culminated in a loss of trust. One particular flashpoint involved a row over teammate Lee Clark. "I know me and Kevin had a fallout," Cole explained. "He cheesed me off with the way he treated Clarkie one day. Then we lost a game, and I was cheesed off because we lost. So when we came to the hotel, Kevin told me to do one. And I said, all right, no problem. packed my bags, and walked out. The relationship was never the same. Despite the underlying friction, Cole remained Newcastle's star attraction, and there was little indication that a move was imminent. Cole himself dismissed the idea. In the few England squads I got in, I talked to Incy, Paul Ince, and he always mentioned, "The gaffer likes you." And I was like, "Nah, no chance, Newcastle will never sell me." But as we know, football has a way of upending expectations. The turning point came in January 1995 when Sir Alex Ferguson, ever the opportunist, made his move. Manchester United were in the hunt for a striker who could help them wrestle the title away from Blackburn Rovers, and Ferguson saw Cole as the perfect fit. Newcastle, needing funds, and mindful of the friction between Cole and Keegan, agreed to a record-breaking £7 million deal, £6 million in cash plus winger Keith Gillespie, valued at £1 million, heading the other way.
When I made my England debut,
Andy Cole replaces Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy got taken off and didn't even shake my hand. It's a complete snub. So from that day, that was my opinion formed.
The transfer shocked the footballing world. Newcastle fans were outraged, unable to comprehend why their club would sell their most prized asset to a direct rival. The reaction was immediate and visceral, with supporters venting their fury at both the club and Cole himself. For Cole, it was a bitter pill to swallow.
Well, Andy, I think most of the soccer world's shocked. Did it come as a surprise to you?
Yeah, it came as a very big surprise to me, I knew nothing about it until like yesterday evening, about 5 o'clock, and it's all gone from there.
So how did you find out about it? Did Kevin Keegan come on the phone to you, or what happened?
No, to be honest, it was my agent who gave me a call and said he's coming up to see me. Didn't know what about it. When he came to see me, he told me Kevin Keegan accepted the offer from Man United. He wants to go and speak to him.
So how difficult a decision was it once you came here, once you knew Manchester United were interested to move here?
Oh, obviously it was difficult, because I never wanted to leave Newcastle, but the gaffer accepted the bid. I've come to a very big club, I just want to do well for Manchester United,
It's always annoyed me, he said of the fans' response. I remember a few years ago, I went up with Les Ferdinand to do interviews. People came up and heckled me and I said, "You might as well go home or I'll get up and walk out. I'm not really fussed by it."
It wasn't just the club record fee of £1.75 million that was so astonishing. It was more the fact that Cole's transfer marked the end of a £3 million spending spree, carried out when United were top of the table with probably the strongest squad in the league already.
Yet Cole insists that the decision to leave Newcastle was not his. "I wasn't looking to leave Newcastle. I was very happy there."
You'll probably know by now that the Newcastle fans are absolutely distraught at the news. Have you a message for the Newcastle fans?
Yeah, I have got a message for them, Like I said, I never wanted to leave the club. Kevin Keegan accepted the offer. Once he accepted the offer, it's out of my hands.
When that episode happened at the hotel, I basically said, "Nah, I'm not going to have you talking to me like that." So when I went walking for 5 days, we had a meeting, settled it, and he handed me a new contract. But I don't think he let go of that situation. For all the controversy, the move to Manchester United would prove to be a career-defining moment. When Cole arrived at Old Trafford, he faced an entirely different set of challenges. The fee, a British record, weighed heavily on his shoulders. Sometimes when I was in there, I was thinking, I've got to justify the fee. I should have done what I had always done, justifying everything to myself first and foremost, and everything from then was going to fall into place. But the pressure at United was unlike anything he had experienced before. My first training session was at Old Trafford. I had no boots. I had nothing. I walked into the dressing room to see people like Sparky, Eric, Pete, Incy, Brucey, and I was saying to myself, oh my God, 2 years ago I watched these guys. That's how rapid my rise was. I couldn't comprehend it at that time. United were a club built on relentless ambition, and Ferguson demanded nothing less than excellence. For Cole, adapting to this environment took time. It was a massive difference. The team was full of internationals who had done it before. It was a completely different mindset of constantly wanting to win, improve all the time. Early struggles, including a notable goal drought, fueled criticism from fans and pundits alike. But Cole, ever resilient, gradually found his rhythm.
Yes, turned in! And he's done it! There goes Ryan Giggs, danger here, and Cole's in there!
Into the penalty area, and there are hordes of red shirts arriving, and one of them was Andy Cole. Got it back with ease. Here's Hughes, spectacular, off the bar, Cole! It's his second, it's United's third. To the back post, Cole's in there, it's in, it's a hat-trick. Into Hughes, oh, inside the defence, McClare, Hughes has saved it, Cole! Ince is in there, here's Cole with his back to goal, it didn't make any difference.
The turning point came when Dwight Yorke joined United in 1998. Together, the pair formed one of the most iconic strike partnerships in football history. Their intuitive understanding and telepathic link-up play were a joy to watch, and their goals propelled United to unprecedented success. The 1998-99 season, which saw United clinch the historic treble of Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League, remains the pinnacle of Cole's career. "It was like we were born together," he said of his partnership with Yorke.
I think I've seen two happier men today, Dwight Yorke and Andy Cole. Dwight, you came here for days like this, so how good is this?
I can't really explain it, really. It's just a magnificent feeling, something that I've looked forward to. I know we were strong enough to go on to win the title. The boys have proven that today. We've been through a lot and we stick together through the rough times. And it's just absolutely fantastic, and you can hear everybody singing at the minute.
Andy, off the bench, but could you imagine scoring so quickly?
Nah, not really. I think it's my first touch, and like to score then when we just come out from half time. It was a great feeling, like to win it again. It's something really special.
By the time Cole left United in 2001, he had amassed 5 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and a Champions League medal, along with a reputation as one of the most clinical finishers of his generation. Yet his legacy is not without its complexities. For all his achievements, Cole has often felt underappreciated, his contributions overshadowed by flashier players or narrative-driven controversies. Reflecting on his career, Cole has always been candid about the highs and lows. "Sometimes people think it's all been smooth sailing, but it hasn't," he admitted. "I've had to work for everything I've achieved, and I wouldn't have it any other way." Cole's story is not just a footballing tale, it's a human one. It's about resilience, adaptation, and the unrelenting drive to prove oneself, even when the odds seem insurmountable. For all the criticism he faced, for all the misunderstandings that linger, Andy Cole's career is a testament to the power of perseverance. And in football, as in life, that's often the most impressive victory of all.